their feet. These birds are so unbelievably gross. It's hard to believe that there are human vultures among us. Meet John Stars Jr. from Tampa, Florida. John has an unusual hobby, one that some people would consider to be the grossest hobby in the world. John is a dumpster diver. For 30 years, he's been diving in and out of other people's trash. John is a regular on the dumpster circuit, but he's not alone.
A lot of people assume that if you're dumpster diving, you're a down-and-out street person or something, but a surprising number of upper middle-class people do it. Most people who dumpster dive are simply cheap tightwads like me. Frugal is too polite. Yeah, all my friends agree, I'm cheap.
John finds treasure in other people's trash. Over the years, he's recovered electrical goods, furniture, and even expensive jewelry. More importantly, John believes he's helping the environment.
Dumpster diving, which I also call pre-cycling, is a very important thing that we can do to help the environment by preventing waste and making use of items that otherwise would end up in landfills.
Thanks to John, these food scraps will never get to a landfill because he's taking them home to feed his hungry family of chickens.
Come on, Buffy. Come on, Vader. Come on, Edith. Come on, Rocco. Come on. Get your big num-nums. Come here, girls. Come here, girls. Look what Dad's got. Eat your big nummies. Come on, get your big num-nums. Get your noodles. There you go. Dad gets you big num-nums. That's right. You're the luckiest chickens in the world. How many chickens get such good nummies? Get that big noodle.
Vultures have no trouble finding num-nums. After all, they're nature's very own pre-cyclers. It's a dirty job, but someone has to do it. But if you think vultures are foul, we've saved the ultimate gross out for last. We've seen the 9 contenders. They're the grossest of the gross. Only one animal is more revolting. It's number 1. Anywhere there's death or decay, you can be sure that the countdown's grossest animal won't be far away.
Listen. Do you hear? It's coming back, turning the screen into a buzzing, crawling, creeping nightmare of terror.
Screaming into number 1 in the countdown is an animal that dines out on festering food and disgusting droppings. The fly. After feasting on feces, it likes to join us for dinner. And wherever it lands, the fly leaves behind tiny traces of its last meal. Its body is covered in potentially harmful bacteria that can spread diseases like typhoid and dysentery. Its filthy footprints are bad enough, but it's the fly's table manners that are truly sickening. Flies vomit all over our food, hurling enzymes that turn it into a soup. And what they can't suck up, they leave behind for us. It's no wonder we don't like flies.
It's time
But if you think their eating habits are disgusting, just wait till you see where they put their young. Flies lay their eggs in dead flesh that the maggots eat once they hatch. They can strip a carcass in days. So why would anyone want to take maggots into intensive care? To find out, visit Dr. Ronald Sherman at the University of California.
Maggot lab.
Inside the maggot lab, Ron breeds maggots. Lots of maggots. The process begins in the nursery. Looking more like grains of rice than baby maggots, the eggs are carefully disinfected to kill any bacteria on their bodies. That's because Ron Sherman and his team operate America's only breeding service for medicinal maggots. These are the smallest surgeons in the world. The healing power of the maggot was first noticed back in the American Civil War. Horribly wounded soldiers were often left for days with no medical attention. By the time they received help, many of their wounds were infested with maggots. But to everyone's surprise, their wounds were healing beautifully. Because maggots only eat dead tissue, they had effectively cleaned the wounds out, removing bacteria and stimulating healing. And they're still doing it today. Every week, the Maggot Lab delivers thousands of disinfected maggots all over America. They are used to treat wounds that have not responded to modern antibiotics. But isn't having maggots on your body the ultimate gross out? Not according to Ronald Sherman.
If you ask someone who has no wound, they might think maggots on their body is kind of gross. But when you ask someone who has a draining, stinking hole in their foot, that is more gross than disinfected or sterile maggots.
They may be medical marvels, but most flies just get under our skin. They have a festering reputation as filth-loving bacterial bulimics. And that's why, when it comes to gross-outs, the fly really is the most extreme.